Hey guys, Harry here, back with part 5 on the boundary wall here. As you can see in this clip, I've got the corners built right up. I think I had the corners built right up in the last video, but they had already been built from the previous day, me and my old man. And as you can see, I've got two pillar corners racked back. So on the far side where I've got the profile set up, it'll just be a case of running into the line, moving the corner block up, plopping a couple of bricks in, and then, then straight back on with the straight stuff again. So that's where the profiles will come into their own in speed-wise, where I'll basically not have to build any corners, so I'll save time building corners because I've already racked a pillar back, obviously on the opposite side of the wall, which is now like the front side. So that's why I emphasised on the corner building video why racking back is so much better when building corners, because it's a lot faster. It's a lot faster when you've racked back a full height corner to then keep, then rack the other side down, tail the other side round. So a lot better. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about trowels, and specifically the wide heel variant of the London trowel, the London pattern. I used a wide heel for quite a while on my first few YouTube videos. I had a wooden handled Tyzac, and the only thing I didn't like about that trowel was the handle itself. It was like a short stubby handle, and the lift on it was great. It was a better lift in my opinion than the Marshalltown, but I was using a wooden handle. It was really short, didn't really fit my hand very well because I've got quite a big hand, so it was like there wasn't enough handle there really. And I always found the wooden handles a bit, the grip on it compared to the Durasoft plastic rubber grip, it's no comparison. You have such a better grip with the rubber Durasoft. I know some guys will say all day long that wooden's better, wooden's this, but it just feels old, and after it's seen a bit of weather and it's lost its shine, it's lost its lacquer on it, and it's just nowhere near as nice as holding a rubber handle. And I'm gonna break out the Tyzac that I did a review on, the one with the 10-inch wide heel with the Durasoft grip handle, which I made a review on the After 8 tool reviews, which I'm going to make another After 8 tool review. I recently got an Ox Pro Series 4-foot level, or a 1200, if you want to call them, and I've got to say, my first impressions of the Ox levels, my dad got a trade series level about a year ago or two, about a year and a half ago. And this is the new updated Pro series, which they've had for a while, but they've been innovating them slowly over the last year or so. And the tools have got better in general, like the handles have got better on the trowels and stuff like that. And they just, the level, it feels the most solid level I've ever got for 35 quid. I got it for £34.74. on Amazon with a Prime deal, so Amazon Prime on it, got it next day delivery. Also got a Draper 13-meter tape, mainly for just setting out my internal walls on this footing. I don't know if it's just an attached house, this footing, or it's a pair, but hopefully there aren't too many internal walls on them, so I don't got to use the tape measure all that often. Obviously, I'm using the Brickmate for setting out bond and stuff like that. Ideal when it comes to your trench and your 4-inch. Your trench blocks, you've just got to build a corner, set one block at the far side where it's pit, on one flank, and just run it, see how it works block wise. It doesn't matter so much if it don't work blocks exactly. You can just put a little piece in every so often, so that doesn't really matter. Main thing is full joints, which this is why I'm going to go back to using this wider heel trowel. It's not as long as the 11-inch Marshalltown I've got, and you can probably hold just about the same amount of gob on it, because I was shocked, to be honest, of how much more you could hold on these wide heel trowels. And because with them being quite short as well, and the sharp point on them, you could nicely perp the bricks doing the front tip method. So I'm going to be doing a front tip, basically front tipping both arises of the brick, so not just the front aris, the face side aris. I'm going to be front tipping both sides, obviously to get a nice full joint. Also going to be trying the pick and dip out with these on the blues. Last time I did pick and dip on the blues, it was really good, so I don't see why I wouldn't do it still. But I just want to have a go with the wide heel now. I'm a bit better at the pick and dip. I was looking at old footage of me using the wide heel London trowel, the Tyzac, and to be quite honest, after using the Marshalltowns extensively again and then comparing the steel of the Marshalltown to the steel of the Tyzac, they're comparable. I'd actually say the Tyzac. I'd say the steel on the Tyzac is just as good for cutting bricks as the Marshalltown. I was probably a bit biased towards the Marshalltown at first because I'd been using wooden handled trowels for the last 2 years, and then I'd gone back to a Marshalltown with a Durasoft grip, and I thought this feels amazing, when I could have just used the Tyzac with a Durasoft grip. So I'd say the weight of the trowel has a big impact on cutting the brick. A lot of the time you're going to struggle cutting the brick with a 10-inch trowel because of the lack of weight to it, but an 11-inch you'll just blast straight through the brick easy. So with these wider heel trowels, I've got to use the heel more to cut the brick more than the blade, so I'm going to get used to using the heel a bit more on the trowel to, basically when cutting bricks or chipping them. A lot of time you're just like chipping a brick or, cutting a quarter back off of it, you know what I mean, to get a 3/4. So it came in handy when I were on the more square bricks that were laying at Miller Homes. They were a lot nicer. But I'm still on Red Row, and I will be for the next month or so, I would have thought now, because I've had a look at what work's in front of me to do, and I'd say there's a good probably 3 weeks work in front of me to do. There's a couple of big panels of wall left to do that I could get at very soon when the roofs are on. And then there's a wall to top off that I didn't do, but I'll have a panel to build on it and a wall to top off, which I'll cop for. Which I don't mind, because I still make quite good money on them. I still make 200 a day topping walls off, and it's a steadier number than lashing bricks one after another down. I find it's less wear in general. It feels less tiring topping walls off. So I've got a wall to top off. That'll be about a day. And I've got a panel to do, which will be like a short day. And then I've got a squint panel and a big panel. That'll be like 2 days, because it's a squint, so it'll probably slow me down a bit. So we've got 4 days work just there, and then we've got another rendered wall to do, which will be like a two-dayer. Probably, yeah. So call it a 2-dayer. So that's 4. That's 6. That's 6 days. So that's a week and a day. Probably got a week on this footing at least, maybe less. But let's call it a week, because I just call it a week for rough estimates. 2 weeks. And then I've got this to finish off. That's about a day with the squint panel. And then, so we're on a week, 2 week and a day, 2 week and 3 days. And then I'm only doing 3 days 1 week. So I'm doing a week this week and 3 days the next. So I've probably got, definitely got at least another 3 weeks here. Yeah, I think, definitely at least another 3 weeks before I get moved. I'll see though. I'll be interested. I'm ready to be honest. I'm ready to try another site out for a while, because although there's these walls have been good to me, good earners on here. It gets a little bit boring being on the same site all the time. Do tend to cop for quite a few remedial tasks on this site, but it seems a lot of them already I've done them all now. I've probably done a total of about 2 weeks worth of day work on here, doing bits and bats. So hopefully they're all complete on this site. I'm thinking if there's any other remedials possibly to do. I can't see anyone else leaving stuff. So yeah, so probably about another 3 weeks worth of work on this job, and then we'll be off to a different site, I'd have thought, unless I can't see me staying on here really for another, just with the amount of work that's in front of us. I've sort of sponged it all up now, unless they get me to top some of these walls off. So could be a couple of walls. They might add an extra, maybe get a month out of it if I have to top a couple of walls off I've built. So but yeah, doubt that because normally do that once the house has been built. So these houses are quite a couple of weeks away from being built. So yeah, potentially, yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, can't wait to go back to using the London. Just because if you've seen any recent videos by Charlie Collison, he's been doing the front tip, but both sides. You know, front tipping the face side of the perp, the back side, just get a full joint. So that's sort of what I've been doing. You know what I mean? Obviously, in this wet weather, you have to get your mortar wetter, so it does adhere to more of a long style spread. And I've been liking the traditional. I just like them to mix up a little bit, other than doing pick and dip all the time, which can get a little bit boring if you always lay the same way. But yeah, and hopefully this wide heel trowel, easy to get the mortar down on these big heavy trench blocks. Which are, you know, I've always found them dead easy to lay them. Just have to see what the details like on the internals, but from what I can see, the guys who were laying them before had no issue with them, and you know, I was looking at what they were doing, and they looked fucking dead simple, to be honest. They just had each one of them had a nightmare laying them blues, and I don't know why, because I found them fucking pleasurable to lay, to be quite honest. But I do prefer that type of square brick. I think if you don't get your gobbo stiff enough, it can be awkward. So, and I suppose I think that's all it is, experience laying those sort of engineering bricks. I like engineering, to be quite honest. You know, I get them down pretty quick. So that's the only thing they used to complain about, the blue bricks. And the rest of the time, you know, putting lintels on over air bricks and commons and that, they're all dead easy to lay. It's all underground as well. All you gotta do is stroke a joint over them, and it doesn't really matter what they look like, as long as they level and plumb and to measurement. Yeah, so hopefully we won't get stopped with any rain. I've had a look at the forecast and it's pretty clear for the whole week. I'm going to bring the gazebo in on Monday. I've told my old man to put it in car. It's pop-up gazebo, and if it gets pretty hot and it's looking like it's going to bake us, we're going to set it up. Just bring it over to the footing, set it up over, you know, a bit of section, and just have it to stand under, really, to have a minute. You know what I mean? Because I've an apprentice with me, so we us for a day or so. I think we're having him for a day or so. I don't know. That's what Charjan said to me. So yeah, be nice. Get some make life a bit easier. It's a little bit easier when I have an apprentice with an extra set of hands. It's just the day goes a bit smoother, and you know, I can, you know, get gobbo and get spreading and stuff. That'll make a massive difference. Yeah, but I'll yeah. Well, I haven't really got anything else to talk about, really. I made the last video talking about how much people get paid, how much you can expect to get paid, earn, as should I say, as an apprentice, and coming up through the ranks as a journeyman, and after many years becoming a master status, as you could call it. I wanted to just make a point about that, saying that that's only relevant to the prices I'm on right now. So when I was an apprentice, we were on like $320 1,000, and then when I came out my time, we went up to 400, and then it went up to 500. But I was on 400 until about 400 a thou till about 2018. I want to say I was on 400 a thou till about 2018, and then I went to about 500 in late 2018, 2019 when I started working for this firm I'm working for now, and then we're on 550 now. So that's probably the lower end compared to what a lot of people are getting now. I know I've heard a lot of places paying 600 and 700 a thou. 625 and 675 are like a common number I see being thrown around for what people are paying, but that's a lot of the time on supers, not on footings. So, and what I'm doing on walls, it's classed as super, but it's sort of just the same as really a lot of groundwork firms build a lot of the boundary walls on these housing jobs, and luckily the superstructure contractor who I work for has above the damp, has basically the walls as well. So it's lucky that, you know, I'm getting a decent price, you know what I mean, per brick, 55p a brick, 550 a thou, isn't bad at all. Do you know what I mean? I suppose there is better out there, but at the end of the day, if you're earning money, you're earning money, and I mean, best money I've earned in a long time, well, ever. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope everyone enjoys the sort of varied topics. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like, comment, and hit that notification bell. If you're subscribed, and you'll keep up to date with daily videos from myself. I didn't do anything on the garden this week, so I'll try get in the garden next week for some more retaining wall footage on digging that out. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.